Hi, my name is Jay. Your name is? Darryl. Your name is? Maria?
Sara.
Sara. We're up here today on Mount Helix in La Mesa, California. We're out asking the big question to people. What do you think happens after you die? Your eyes go closed, and what happens next? Something or nothing? And if you believe there's something, what is that something for you guys? We'll start with you.
You start with Maria.
Maria? Okay. Get some thought. It's a big one, huh?
Well, I'm Christian, so I believe in God, and I believe that if you accept Jesus Christ as your Savior, then you're going to go to heaven, and if you don't, then there's not a pretty afterlife for you, basically.
Okay. All right. How about you?
The same thing. I'm a Christian. I believe that if you believe that Jesus died for your sins and that He is your Savior, you'll go to heaven, and if you don't, you'll go to hell.
Okay. All right. You need some more time, or?
I mean, yeah, but
Do you share those same beliefs, or do you have a different one?
I do. But yeah, I do. And just, you get what you give into this life. That's basically the same guidelines as Maria and Sara have given you. So you just do what you should with this life, and then you'll get what you deserve.
Okay. Well, we all come from different families, different, we were raised differently, right? And so, it sounds like they've had a little bit different upbringing, per se, maybe than you have, right? Your beliefs and what you share, right? So, now comes today. We're coming up here, and we're going to talk to you guys about what we believe, and it may mirror some of your same beliefs. It may not mirror some of your same beliefs. But before we go any the conversation any further, my wife and I were Christians. We believe in Jesus. The only way to heaven, we believe in heaven and hell. The only way to heaven is through Jesus Christ. But a question that I just love to ask fellow Christians is, was there anything in your life that you that happened to you that made you shift direction and start following Jesus? Is there anything that, or has it just been that way since you can remember? You were raised in it, and
Well, for me, I was raised it. Basically, I remember growing up in the church and, hearing about Jesus from when I was little all the way up until now. But I think mainly is when I got to college and I found another group of people who also believed the same thing I did, and they helped me grow in my faith. And that's mainly when I decided to really accept Jesus into my heart and try and figure out what He wanted me to do with my life.
So what was it about them that kind of you said, you know what, are they just nice people to you, or what was it?
No, not that they were nice people. It's just when I was with them, a lot more things made sense, I guess. And I, before I was just mainly like a name Christian. Like I said, I was Christian, but I didn't really believe. And then when I was with them, I saw how Jesus was affecting their life and, their personality and what they were doing and all that kind of thing. And I just wanted to feel that for myself. So that's basically when I started. It was like them being confident in what they were doing that made me realize.
Okay. How about you?
For me, I've been a Christian my whole life. I grew up in the church. My family went to church every Sunday. But it really hit me when my parents got divorced, and it was a hard time, and my mom we would pray together and everything, and I just realized how God was in my life and was there for us during that hard time.
So that made you it's kind of a trial, right? Sounds like you had a trial affect your life, and it, what I tell people is a trial will do one of two things: either draw you closer to God, or push you away from God. You'll just think you'll blame Him for what's happening. So it sounds like you trusted Him and got closer. So any of that makes sense to you at all? I mean, what?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think probably it was the death of my cousin, because she was, I don't know, she was an amazing person. So when I went to her funeral and saw how involved she was in her church, it just it made me feel like I was missing something with her loss, but it helped me realize that she wasn't just lost, She wasn't lost. I knew that she was going somewhere where she'd be safe and that she would never be forgotten, So that's the point in my life that.
So you felt the change where you weren't a believer before that happened, or are you still not a believer?
I wouldn't necessarily say I wasn't a believer.
Okay.
But it's pushed me towards
Investigating it further?
yes.
Have you actually asked Jesus into your life at this point, or are you still, you're getting closer? You feel,
Yes.
it's a road for people.
Yes.
Okay, so you still haven't done it though.
I guess if I have to think about it, no.
Okay. Okay. No, that's, hey, it's we, like I said at the beginning, we're all on this road, right? And we meet people, we have things happen in our life, and that kind of we go in a certain direction or another. It's all a lot of decisions we're making in life, roads we're going down, my wife and I, we've had a road, okay, a road that was filled with a real large trial that occurred in our life. That we were believers before it happened, but kind of like you guys, and a little bit, you kind of touched on a little bit there. It kind of was a wake-up call. Okay, it really changed our the closeness to Jesus, unlike ever before. I'm going to tell you some testimony in our own lives, and on November 6th of 2007, my wife and I lost an 18-year-old son in a car accident. We lost him suddenly, didn't get to say goodbye, just gone. He was right after the 2007 wildfires. They happened. He was just graduated from Steel Canyon High School, and he was a cross-country runner since the age of 8. He ran 40 miles a week on average. He won races all over California. Real good runner. Just started at Mesa College here in San Diego on their cross-country team. He was in his freshman year, and he jumped into a car. He'd been driving for 1 week. He was used to driving a 4-cylinder Jeep. He jumped into an Acura Integra, used one, and he was running late for his cross-country running class. He was dressed in his running shorts, t-shirt, and his brand new running shoes he just got from a shoe company that was sponsoring him to try these shoes out and give them to him for free. So he was all excited about running for the first time, jumped into that new used car, much faster than what he's used to, and he zoomed up the 94 West Freeway right below us down here, this freeway. And there's a house that's on that 94 West Freeway just by the College Grove Shopping Center that has a very large white cross painted on the roof. That white cross has been there many years before my son's accident. So it wasn't there, it wasn't painted to memorialize him in any way. It was there before his accident. And he died dead center on the cross. He was driving in the fast lane, something lost control in his vehicle, and I got a picture here of the house. This is it here. Take a close look at that picture. Those are my son's skid marks right here. There used to be you can see they're lined up with a cross. It was the middle of a day, a dry road day, just like this. He hit a tree here, split his car in half, ripped him out of his seatbelt. He landed on his back, perfectly positioned, looking up at the cross. Parts of his car went completely around the cross and the roof. We actually have news video coverage of the accident, the aftermath, and the owner of the house picking up parts of my son's car around the cross. So that was a trial in our life. But the real question is, did my son accept Jesus Christ into his life before he passed? Because that's the requirement. That's what the Bible says you need to do. You're coming up before a holy God. And Jesus has, if you trust in him, Jesus has taken all of your sin, past, present, and future, upon himself. So, did he get his sin forgiven and be rest assured that he's going to heaven? We feel like he did as his parents, but God knows him inside. He knows whether he truly trusted in that. A lot of people say they believe in that, but you better check yourself and make sure that that's not just lip service that you're giving. It's something you truly trust in, because you don't know when your last moment is going to be, just like you didn't, right? And I encourage you, I know you're on a road, but every day you put that decision off, something could happen, right? So if you haven't done it, a lot of people think you got to go into a church and go before a congregation and ask Christ into your life. You don't. Although that's a good thing to do. You could do it to here with your friends here. You could do it at home, alone in a room, just you and God. Say, Jesus, I'm sorry for the stuff that I've done wrong. You've seen all my secret stuff, and I need your forgiveness, Lord. And then once you do that and you're sincere about it, His Holy Spirit will come upon you and help you make decisions in this life from here on out and help you grow in Him. And He brings up peace on you that you can't describe. And, me and my wife going through what we did, without Him, I can't even imagine going through the rest of our lives. It does bring a peace upon you. But I want to tell you one other thing. My son was an organ donor. He donated his body to an organization called LifeShare. And an 18-year-old boy got his ulnar collateral ligament in his arm. He was a baseball pitcher. He went to Mater Dei High School. And this 18-year-old, his name is Blake. This is the picture of the accident. An 18-year-old driver killed when car slams into a tree, November 7th, 2007. Anyway, Blake sent us a letter. Would you mind reading that letter real quick for us, for the viewing audience?
Hi, my name is Blake. I am writing to your family to express my sincere empathy in your loss of a family member. I am deeply sorry for your family and am praying that God may guide you in this time. I am also writing to your family in great respect and gratitude for your family decision to donate this special gift. The transplant I received and the scarring that has taken place due to the surgery will serve as a reminder of your family and especially your loved one. I am greatly privileged and thankful for my opportunity, which will be powered by your loved one as he or she has enabled me to be healthy again. I thought I would share with you a brief story of who I am and what the surgery has allowed for me to do. I am an 18-year-old boy who has just graduated from Mater Dei High School in Santa Ana, California. I will be attending Santa Clara University in the fall. I am the oldest child and have one brother and two sisters. My brother is 17 and my sister is 16, and my little sister is 12. Growing up a child full of energy and love for athletics, I played hockey, basketball, football, soccer, and baseball. When I got to high school, a lot of those things started to change or not to go the way I had hoped for. To make a long story short, I ended up lettering in football and baseball. I had many ups and downs in football, such as losing the quarterback job to phenom Matt Barkley after starting quarterback my freshman year and sophomore year for the freshman team and the sophomore JV team. However, I ended up playing receiver for our varsity team my senior year and gained many life lessons along the way. In baseball, my sophomore year on varsity, I hurt my arm pitching. My junior year, I did the exact same thing. After that season, I got an MRI and found out my ulnar collateral ligament, also known as the Tommy John ligament, was torn. I ended up playing third base for my team senior year, however, and we had a remarkable season that, again, brought many ups and downs, but many life lessons as well. I am honored to let you know that the transplant your family has so generously donated has replaced my damaged elbow ligament in my arm through surgery commonly referred to as Tommy John surgery. I am currently still in stitches and in a brace and have started my rehabilitation process that will take approximately 1 year. I have hopes to play baseball and...
All right, flip it over to your side. Okay.
pitch at Santa Clara University. I will redshirt my first year due to my injury and rehabilitation, but will then resume my baseball activity my second year there. I am again very grateful for your family and will hope to fulfill my dreams of pitching out of respect of your loved one. I will never forget your family and your loved one as he or she is in a better place. I hope to keep in contact with your family and cannot be thankful enough for what this surgery is going to enable me to do. Thank you again, and may God bless your family. You are in my prayers and in my heart. Thank you.
So he signed it down there. He left his phone number there. So my wife's got her cell phone and called him, tried to get him on the phone. Got his voicemail, left him a voicemail, and we didn't hear anything back from him for quite some time. No call back, no nothing. A few months later, my wife and I were foster youth mentors. We take kids from the county out. We take them camping, bike riding, and that kind of thing. We've been doing it for many years. My son was very active at it when he was alive. I'll show you a picture of my son. Anyway, we were taking our foster youth mentee, his name is Davion, and we were taking him on a bike ride to Coronado one day. And we were driving on the 94 West Freeway. We live in Hamul. We're all driving together in the car. And we were right in front of this house on the 94 West Freeway. My wife's cell phone rings. Who do you think's calling us for the very first time, months after we initially called him and left him a voicemail? Blake. We were all stunned. He was calling us right in front of the house, of all places to give us a call. So we decided to have dinner with him. We invited him to dinner, and we all met up at the Claim Dripper restaurant up in Carlsbad. We all sat down to eat. His mom came with him, and Blake started asking us questions. He said, what kind of car did Devin drive? And we told him he was an Acura and Decker and the model and everything. He looks at us funny and he says, I drive that same car. And then we talked to his mom, and his mom is a CASA, which are like foster youth mentors. They take kids from the county out, shop with them, that kind of thing. So all this stuff is hooking up right and left. Where we felt the Lord was working in. Can I sit here and ask the Lord right now to verify that? No, but I'm a firm believer that the Lord's working in our life at all times. I believe that I came here with my wife today at this time, down to this location, to meet you guys. Okay? Did he whisper in my ear to come down here? No. But I actively asked God, bring me to somebody I need to talk to. Today you haven't accepted Jesus Christ in your life. That's the reason. If the Lord's using us today as an instrument to try to get you to convince to accept Him and not put it off, maybe that's it. But I pray that you'll do that. So those are two things that happened to us, and we just kind of going on from here. We go out and share Jesus with people, try to get out at least once a week and talk to people about it. But what church you guys go to?
The Rock.
Oh, the Rock. I got a story about the Rock too. I'll tell you about that real quick. Why not? We went to the Rock when my son was alive. Okay. And I had two teenagers in the house. They have, the music there they like the music. You guys probably like the music there. Miles is great. Anyway, we work in a retirement community. And during the fires, my retirement community was evacuated. And a lot of people, close to 400 plus people there, live there. My wife was evacuated from our home. We live in Hamul. And I was actually in Florida with the person I work with at a convention. My wife calls me and says, Jay, we're being evacuated from our house. I go, oh, great. So I jumped in a plane and flew back to San Diego. Flew over the smoke and the fire and into San Diego. And I met everybody from my retirement community at the San Diego High School in their gymnasium. We had people all over their floor and mats, residents everywhere. We had the Red Cross there, everybody, there's tons of people volunteering, helping out. So I'm in the crowd, and this approximately 18-year-old boy walks up to me out of the crowd, just out of the blue. And he goes, hey, do you happen to know anybody that's the evacuees that are looking for some place to stay? And I go, why? He goes, well, we've got a brand new church out in Point Loma, and we're looking for evacuees. I go, what church is that? And he goes, The Rock. I said, I go to The Rock. And I've been going there. And so it's just, one of those things, just out of that, there's tons of churches, and this guy walks up to me and says that, in a crowded gymnasium. So I went and talked to the person the executive director I work with, and we decided we heard reports of smoke in the area and that kind of thing, so we decided to move out closer to the ocean, to Point Loma. We got everybody in the buses, and we went out there. We stayed on their second and third floor there at The Rock for a few days. Just lived there. They fed us and had doctors there and everything. It was really nice of them to do it. Anyway, came time for us to go back to the retirement community and to give us the all-clear sign to go back. We got everybody bussed up and back over to the place, and all tucked in again. And I get together with my executive director and the management team, and we decided, it sure would be nice to put together a volunteer appreciation event for everybody that helped out. We had tons of pictures, and we wanted to just have a slideshow to kind of, show them. So we're thinking, well, sure would be nice if we had a Macintosh computer to do this with, because we didn't have a Mac on retirement committee. I said, well, I think The Rock has a Mac. Let me call over there and ask him if I can use it. So he said, sure, Jay, you can come on over. So me and a coworker, we drove over to The Rock in the middle of a work day. This is going to be, aside from the evacuation, the very first time that I was going to be at my home church during a work day. So I'm at the church, and I'm working on the Mac, putting the slideshow together, and I get a phone call on my cell phone from my daughter, my now 26-year-old daughter. And she says, Dad, there's sheriffs at the door. And I said, sheriffs, what do you mean? We'd be evacuated again? He goes, no, they want to talk to you. And so I get on the phone, and they said, Jay, you need to come home. I said, what do I need to come home for? He says, I can't tell you, but you need to come home. So I was like, I was thinking all kinds of things, and I go, does my wife need to be there? My wife's up in a convention up in Long Beach area. I said, no, she can wait, you need to come. So I drove from Point Loma to Hamul, not knowing nothing, pull in the driveway, and I'm greeted by two people from the medical examiner office. One of them was the a chaplain. He actually babysat Miles McPherson's kids when they're infants. So we were all kind of floored by that. But they told us that we lost our son. So it's kind of, it's at church, and all this stuff is happening, it's Lord's working in our life, just all the time. Just got to be willing to just trust Him. Is it hard to be a Christian? No, that's a good question for you. Is it hard to be a Christian?
Well, yeah, it's hard because He's all like God says there's going to be trials in our faith, and we just have to keep faith. Like that's what this devil's going to tempt us no matter what we do.
Yeah,
even more so when we get closer to God.
Oh yeah,
So trials are going to happen no matter what, even as we get closer to God. It's just a part of it.
Yeah, but can you have what I'm finding is a lot of people don't accept Jesus because they think they're not going to have fun anymore.
Right.
Can you have fun as a Christian, a young Christian? Can you have fun?
Definitely.
I like to ask this question. Give me some examples of fun that is good fun.
Well, I mean, she's not from around here, and we both go to the same school. And she's from Minnesota, and we both go to the same school, and we're involved in the same Christian program. And we met, and I invited her back home with me. We're gonna go to the service later on tonight at my church and just hang out. I told her I'd show her around San Diego. It's just like little stuff like that, like just hanging out with friends and going out and doing stuff that isn't dangerous or isn't frowned upon or like anything really. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's good fun. There's not so good fun, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like sleeping around with people. Yeah. Doing drugs, stealing, all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's one of those things that kind of get to wrap your head around. It just, you got a conscience, right? God gave us a conscience, right?
Yeah.
You know it within yourself. You may not be telling people, but you know within yourself when something is wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? When you go lie to somebody, you know what's wrong inside, don't you? You can hear your inner mind going, that's wrong. You should be doing that, but you do it anyway, right?
Definitely, yeah.
and I can go on and on. Let me give you real quick what the good person test, and this will kind of help that kind of underline what I did, that good part, because we're all not good, right?
No.
Right. Let's do that real quick. Have you guys ever told a lie in your life?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. What does the world call people that lie?
Sinners.
Liars? Yeah. So, how about this? Have you ever stolen anything in your life, even as a kid?
Yeah.
So, what does the world call people that steal?
Thieves.
Thieves. Yeah. So, have you ever hated someone or called them a fool? And Jesus said on the Sermon on the Mount that if you hate someone or call them a fool, that's murder in your heart.
Right.
So, we've all done stuff wrong, but we're supposed to be forgiving. We're supposed to really try to do that. It's not easy. So those are all called sin, right? So we believe as Christians, but after this life ends, we're going to come before God. He's going to judge us for the things that we've done in this life. So based upon the sins you just told me you've done, when you come before Judgment Day, come before God, do you think He's going to send you to heaven or hell?
I would like to think that He'd send me to heaven, but I also know that He knows we're not perfect, and we can't be perfect on our own. It's only through Him that we can.
His blood, right?
His blood. And it's not, this is the way I was explained to it, it's not how we've done wrong, it's if we keep doing it and we don't improve ourselves upon it, we don't try and do right through God, kind of thing. Like,
it's a road, yeah. But we're going to continue to make mistakes in our life.
Yeah.
We try to get, it's a road. Are we going to ever reach perfection? No. There was only one that lived this life that was perfect. That was Jesus Christ Himself. None of us. It comes down to our thought life. It could be walking down the street, whether it be looking at somebody attractive or whatever it may be, and having thoughts. You're gonna sin, whether you think you're not or you just are. Okay,
yeah.
That's why we need Jesus in our life to help us with the next step. You said hell earlier, and a lot of people have a lot of different versions of hell. What is your version of hell? I know what Miles teaches.
Yeah.
What is your version of hell?
Let's see. I was described to it as being it's a pit of blackness and constant pain, and there's no light. It's cold.
Constant pain.
It's just
Yep.
for eternity, like it's never ending.
Yep. It's fire, brimstone.
Yeah.
Actually, my father accepted Christ on his deathbed, and at his funeral, I read every single verse in the Bible that talked about hell. There's a lot, and it's a place again you're gonna feel pain for eternity. So you're going out there and not accepting Jesus in your life. You're just rolling the dice, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Slip off a rock, fall. Who knows what might happen, right? So you need to not put that off, and you don't want to go to that place. And that's, Jesus warned people about hell more than He talked about heaven.
Yeah, that's
in the Bible. That's biblical. That's there. So just things to think about. Anyway, you got any questions for me? You taking him to church tonight?
Yeah.
Good night. Good guy. When Miles is up at the end of the service, hopefully he'll do it tonight. He does an altar call. Get down there.
Yeah.
Pray with him. Accept Jesus. Okay? All right. And you got some great friends here. And I know they care about you. But it's really, I can see that. I can see that. But God bless you all. And I'll put your video up on our website there. Okay? All right?
What website is it?